Hi everyone, today I'm going to look at the relationship between Asian media and the global audience through Netflix Korean series Teach You Lesson. My main point is quite simple. The series does not become global by hitting what is Korean about it. Instead, it combines a very specific Korean school setting with action and justice stories that audience in many places can understand. Netflix help this story travel, but it also decide how visible the story becomes. I will explain this through three levels: the text, the audience, and the platform. So let's moving on the next page. Let me start with series itself. It follows a fictional government bureau that enters school when the normal system fails to protect students. Rather than retelling the whole plot, I focus on the first two episodes. Episode 1 connects bullying with political privilege. Episode 2 shows school gun violence, followed by a very forceful intervention. This episode raised the main question behind the series. When a school fails, who has the right to step in? And when does justice start look like another form of violence? So, to answer that question, I use three concepts. Think of them as three simple questions. First, hybridity asks, what made this Korean story understandable across border? Second, transnational proximity asks, why might viewers from very different cultures still feel connected to it? Finally, platform imperialism asks, who helps the story reach global audience and who controls that process. These concepts work together, but they do different job. So I will start with the text itself. So let's begin with hybridity. Lee argues that people do not only enjoy Korean drama because they feel familiar. Cultural difference can also be part of the attraction. We can see that in episode 2, the school hierarchy pressure to study and the educational authority all come from the recognizably Korean setting, but the inspector is presented like an action hero. He enters, confront the problem, and deliver immediate punishment. So the series mixes something culturally specific with a style that the global audience already know. This makes it easier to understand without making it less Korean. But the text alone cannot tell us how every viewer will react. That brings us to the audience. Now we move from the text to the audience. Jin calls this a transnational proximity. The idea is that viewers do not need the same language or nationality to recognize the same social problem. In episode 1, the pattern is easy to follow. Political privilege protects a bully, and the institution fails the victim. This happens in a Korean school, but the feeling of unfairness can make sense in many places. The viewers may recognize what happens when powerful people avoid consequence, but I want to be careful here. This connection is possible. It is not automatic. Without audience research, we cannot say that everyone will respond in the same way. And this is where Andy becomes important. He reminds us that audience are not one group with one opinion. Imagine two viewers watching the same things. One viewer may see Hongjin's violence as a satisfying justice because the school has failed. Another may see the same violence as an authoritarian punishment that goes beyond the law. The things has not changed, but the meaning has. So the series can create a shared concern about bullying and a failed institution while still creating disagreement about this solution. This is important because global connection does not mean global agreement. That brings me to Netflix. At first, Netflix seems simply helpful. It provides subtitles, distribution, and recommendation. So, a Korean series can reach viewers around the world, but the platform is not neutral. From and Chick point out the Asian content can move globally, while a Western platform still controls much of transmission. Noah described Netflix as a gatekeeper and a tastemaker. In simple terms, Netflix help open the door, but it also decide which door is easy to find. Local producer gain funding and access, so this is a not total Western domination. Both sides benefit, but Netflix still has a more power over data and visibility. Particularly as the algorithm also shape which content audience are likely to discover. So Netflix expands reach, but it's also organized that reach. So let's now put the three parts together. Hybridity explains the form of the series. Korean social and institutional details are combined with familiar action storytelling. Transnational proximity explains the connection. Viewers may recognize injustice even across cultural distance, although they may interpret it differently. Platform power explains the reach. Netflix translates, distributes, and recommends the series. So, why controlling visibility? So, global success does not come from the text alone. It is created by the story, the audience, and the platform working together. So, the answer, the assignment, to answer the assignment's question directly, teach your lesson teacher lesson become global without becoming less Asian. Its Korean setting remains central. Audience may connect with its scenes of privilege, bullying, and institutional failure, but they can still disagree about whether it's a violence, it's a injustice, or a certain power. Netflix then make his relationship global while keeping unequal control over what gets seen. This is why I describe the relationship between the Asian media and the global audience in three ways. It is connected because people recognize shared problems, constant because they interpret them differently, and the platform mediates because Netflix shaped the connection. So the next page is all my reference. So thank you. That's all my presentation.